Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome to another video. Today on my Demoscene Ramblings sort of series, I'm going to talk about this thing, Turkish Pepper. It's made by Fazer, it's here on this side, made by Fazer, which is a Finnish company. And they're candies. You can eat them. They are kind of sweet, but then they become a little bit spicy on the inside. You can see here, too hot to handle. This one is three little flames here. This three little flames, the original one. There are other kind of flavors of Turkish pepper, but yeah, this is mostly a Finnish invention. Has this licorice anise sort of taste to it, but inside it's like pepper, spicy, hot. They have several versions of this, some more melting candy, other more chewing kind of candy. So it's a whole thing in the Nordic countries, mostly around Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. I haven't seen it much down in the central and south of Europe. I mean, for sale, available at shops. Usually, but if you go to Finland, it's everywhere. And they also made a drink out of it called Salmiakkikossu vodka, or Salmiakkikossu, I think they shorten it. Yeah, it's pretty much vodka with this candy on it, so the vodka tastes a little bit sweet, and it has this fresh aftertaste, but with a little sudden hint of some spiciness on the background. They have a very wise saying in Finland that if you leave something inside the vodka for enough time, it will eventually melt. So that's what they decided to do with this kind of candy. They have other sorts of vodkas with different things. They have a fisherman's friend sort of vodka as well. They have the Mintu, of course, which tastes like mint, and all sorts of different things they have made with vodka. Finnish people have a very tight connection with the Russian in terms of vodka drinking, so they are very inventive with all different kind of vodkas that they have. Anyways, disclaimer to drink responsibly. Don't become a vodka drinker just because of this video. When I was traveling to many demo parties for the last decade and a half, whenever we went to the more Nordic countries, or even in like French parties, German parties, the Finnish people who would come to those parties would usually bring a packet of Turkish pepper bought at the tax-free. They also would buy some vodka bottles at the tax-free, and they would mix it manually. So I learned the recipe to mix it by hand. It's not very hard. Have a bottle of vodka. You drink a little bit on top to make room for some of these candies. You put the candies through the top of the bottle. If you were smart and knowledgeable of these things, you would have bought the vodka bottle that first does not have a plastic thingy on top to limit the ratio, so you could easily put the things in. Otherwise, you would have to pop out that thing, which can be hard depending on the type of bottle. And then you would have bought a bottle with a big enough nostril head. I don't know the right word for it. The opening on top needs to be large enough to fit a whole candy in it. Otherwise, you would have to break the candies and put them in halves, which does accelerate the process a little bit. But considering how sticky the candies are, it depends how drunk you are and how quickly you want your vodka ready. So yeah, anyways, you make room a little bit, like a third of the vodka bottle or something like that, or a fourth of the vodka bottle to make room for the candies. Put as many candies in it as possible, screw it, shake it, and you have to wait, I don't know, an hour and a half shaking, depends how warm it is. The warmer it is, the faster it dissolves. Some people even put it on washing machines, so it gets like the warm water and it dissolves faster. I never tried that method. I always have shaken it by hand. And after a while, the candies will start dissolving, and you can try sipping it and check if it still tastes rather bitter or rather sweet. And, add more candies until it's just sweet, like on the threshold of just being sweet. If you put too much, then it becomes too sweet. It gets a bit not sickening, but it's not as easy to drink. Anyways, we used to do this recipe a lot. I became a master of preparing Salmiakkikossu vodka by hand, the manual transformation of Salmiakikossu. And it's a lot of people knew this. It's not a special skill. Most of the Finnish Demosceners know how to this and brought this. This was brought by some Finnish Demosceners as well who came to Inertia. They brought this pack. They made the Salmiakikossu by hand there, and this was the leftover pack that we found when packing up. And I'm still enjoying these because we can't buy these in Portugal. So for us, it's an actual treat to have these again. It's a taste that you need to get used to. The candies themselves, the vodka just tastes sweet, so it's not that hard getting used to. But yeah, it became a bit of a trademark on Demoscene events. The same way that the hacker scene has the Club Mate, we have the Salmiakikossu kind of drink. This was mentioned a few times, mostly by American Demosceners who visited Assembly at some point. I remember Radman and Jason Scott came at Assembly probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago, very long time ago, and they took this back with them. And when they went back to the hacker scene there, they were like, oh, we import Club Mate because it's what all the hackers in Europe do. And the Demosceners are like, oh, we import Salmiakikossu because this is what the Demosceners in Europe do. So it's funny to see that parallel and the cultural interchange. This isn't cultural, this is just drinks, but I guess it's kind of culture. So it's funny, it's interesting. Is it really is this what the Demoscene is all about? Not really, no, but it's a part of it, because Demoscene is a social thing. It becomes a social thing. So this is a topic of discussion, of content, of connection, point of conversation in the very least. Doesn't define the Demoscene, but it's a nice little remark of what the Demoscene brought. Parallel funny story about this. So I knew about this from the Demoscene, the Turkish Pepper, and with the vodka and everything, and I knew how to mix it by hand. And when I was going to parties here in Portugal of industrial music, there was this guy who said, there's this very famous drink that they have on Central Europe parties, and we're very elite because we know what this is. And they were calling it Satan's semen because it's black, apparently. And it tastes sweet, but it's very vicious because you will get very drunk out of it. And they were passing this around. I'm like, oh, it's Salmiakikossu. I know how to make these manually. You just need to buy the Turkish pepper. And we were talking about this on the forum, and there was another person in there who had visited in Finland and was saying, yeah, I know how to mix that as well. And my mind was blown. Portuguese person who knows how to do Salmiakkikossu vodka shotties by hand manually. How is this possible? And now I'm married to that person. So that says a lot of how Turkish Pepper brings people together in faraway places from Finland. My now wife, then we were just acquaintances. She had studied in Finland for a short time, and she learned all about Turkish pepper because that's what people have in Finland, and they brought him back. And there was a little niche of people inside the industrial Portuguese scene who knew about this, and we had this regularly. And usually, since you have to mix it with vodka, it becomes a very strong drink, so you always have to have a beer at the same time. So take a few sips. Now you're a bit disgusted of all the sweetness, and you have to cut down on the alcohol being too high, so you have to drink a little bit of beer. So you always end up with two hands filled. And when you are distributing the vodka bottle, people would always end up with two glasses. So one of the conclusions was, okay, I have a glass of beer, I have a glass with a little bit of Salmiakkikossu vodka shotty. What do? I mix both of them together. Bad idea. That's the last thing you remember of the night, because then after that you will be drinking. Whenever you are drinking a bit of vodka in it, and the night ends badly. You end up puking black. You end up not remembering much of the stuff that you did. So yeah, I don't recommend it. Been there, done that. Don't have a t-shirt, sadly enough. But yeah, do distinctly remember puking black at a scene event party that we visited in 2005, if I'm not mistaken, since it was the tour that we did by car. We had some salmiakki with us since we had come from Finland. We brought some Turkish pepper, some vodka. We mixed it. We drank it during the party, and then we were looking for the toilet and have a little puke. And the cool thing was that the bushes near the toilet were already puked black, so someone had previously already contaminated that area with some Salmiakki vodka shotty abuse. So yeah, the moral of the story is drink responsibly. Don't become a drunkard like I used to be. But yeah, this is a nice reference point around the Demoscene. Vodka plus Turkish pepper. It's sweet. It's nice. Don't drink too much. So yeah, that's the Demoscene lore for the day. Hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know why I recorded the video. Well, I do know why. It's because I had this here, and it's so rare that we have this in Portugal that I decided that I should share this piece of history. Because once this is gone, we might never have Turkish pepper in our lives again. I'm being a bit dramatic. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.